Okay, I was going to do something that wasn't Lego tonight, but actually I am going to do Lego. Just because I want this done by tomorrow so that I can show it to somebody. So it's another one of these little things. It's like the last one in the shop. It was reduced to clear. Surprise, surprise, surprise. So I got a few extra reduced to clear sets. So that's exciting. And then we're going to do this one this evening. I'm just going to find a suitable cutting utensil. I really do. I thought I actually had a craft knife on the desk. The desk is completely full of chock-a-block full of lots of stuff because I did some tidying up in my room and I stored everything on this desk. And so I've just removed half of everything, so it's all a mess. But this is Beauty and the Beast, based on the original movie, which I've only ever seen once, but I have listened to the soundtrack many times. Which is actually quite weird. I'd actually listened to the soundtrack many times before I actually saw it that one time. I must have seen it actually twice. I've got it on DVD. But I'm not a big fan of the whole Beauty and the Beast storyline. The whole idea of if someone's a beast and you just really nice to them or you love them enough, they'll turn into somebody nice. That's a very bad lesson to teach people. If someone's rotten to you, that's it. Don't worry about it. They're rotten, and just ignore them and move away. And they're not for you. You can't change them. Especially not being happy relationship sort of thing. That's not the way to help people. Maybe just being friends. So anyway, it would have been better if she just turned out that they were just chums, and she helped him through his hard time, and he grew as a person, and became not a beast. But I do like the rest of the movie, and it's got lots of cool music. But yeah, so the thing is, I actually listened to the soundtrack many times before I saw the film. It's going to be quite fun. It's quite cute. And it's very interesting when you watch something after having listened to the soundtrack for so many times. Then you're like, oh, is that what that person looks like? Is that what they're doing? I have no idea. People did not really look exactly the way that I had pictured in my head. So there's quite a few stickers for this, which is like, oh, I'm going to feel bad for not putting these on, but we're going to hide them over here. I guess we kind of do need the front one, but the front one's not a sticker, is it? Okay, that one's not a sticker. Well, that's good because that's the most important one. I feel like we could honestly just make, this is actually the entire book. It's very small, so this will not take very long, which is good because it's time to go to sleep. So my Mulan one, I've actually completely lost. I left it somewhere and now it's gone forever. Which is a shame because they're not going to sell that anymore. So those things can just sit there. The stickers can go over here. Those just sit there, and we've got 3 separate bags. That's one bag, the tiny bag. I could have, oops, I just dropped a piece on the floor. Hopefully there's a spare for that one. I should have probably stuck them all in here. Something. I don't know. It's too late. They're all sitting on the desk now, but I'm going to leave that there. And then we've got to open up this bag. Like thus. And then we have to open up this bag. So, if you haven't opened bags before, yeah, I did it right that time, didn't I? Didn't I? So, what are we doing? I don't know if there's going to be much use actually having this on the camera at the same time as building it, because it's just all over the show. It's just lots of little tiny builds. So that's quite fun. So let's just start. I'm going to do this. We're going to do the first thing we're doing is a little tiny castle. Which is like this piece goes here. It's kind of like doing a advent calendar because it's just a pile of small things, but it does have some exciting pieces that I quite like. that I don't often get, like these pieces here. Like I think I've had these once before, but they're like these little tiny, maybe it was in the Mulan set, where they're like a little tiny bread bin. And so, but I meant to have 2 of those. So where's the other one? Here's the other one. They don't give you spares of those. Just a little bit too big for having a spare. And then this is going to be the first stage where a sticker goes here. So a rose goes here. But we'll leave that off for now. But we do get printing on the front of this. So that's neat. And we're going to have 2 of these things. Alright. What exactly am I making? I don't know. Oh, and we get to have this piece, which also has printing on it, which is very strange. They must have done a lot of these with these printing on it. This particular piece, right? It just seems like, whether you're going to put a sticker... I guess it's the same old story, that you can't really put a sticker on there very easily. So they're just like, well, they're never going to get a sticker on that. No one can do that. It's not possible. So we won't make them do it. So is this the piece that goes on here? I think this is. And this piece here I've never had, or maybe I have had a black one of these maybe. It's like a little strange dart thing. That goes on the... fell off. I noticed that the petals on that flower I did from last video are quite fragile and they fall off very easily. And a gold chalice. There we go. That's kind of like the thing, you know, you don't usually just say the word chalice out loud, or if ever, or even read it. But it kind of feels like I don't think I've ever held a chalice in my hand and drank from it. That's something you kind of have to do. I quite like the appeal of drinking things from metal containers. Drinking water from a metal container, it has a sort of it makes the water, I always imagine it makes the water taste nicer, but I don't know if it really, I think it's very much a psychological phenomenon. It makes it feel colder. But I did remember like reading a story or something when I was a kid, where there's at some point where they're drinking water from a metal pot or something, but it's soup or something, but it's not soup, it's water. I don't know, but I think that sort of influenced my perception of water being nicer if drunk from a metal container, especially like a sort of not quite cast iron, but like a, you know, like not shiny, like, because I've got like some metal cups and I don't think it's quite the same from a metal cup as it is from what I'm kind of thinking of. But anyway, who knows. I do have a metal, because my kettle, my electric kettle broke, living in a country, if you live in North America, I don't know, this, I never believe this is actually true, but it's like one of those things. I think it's to do with the way that appliances work there, but that, you know, in many parts of the world, I think it is quite common to have a little tiny electric, or a kettle that boils by itself without needing to be put on a stove or something, or you're doing something like that. So, but then I've always heard that you can't, that it's not that as common, and like it is, you know, some people do have them, but it's not particularly common in North America, which always struck me as strange. But hey, I should show what I'm doing. I'm actually doing this here. So, because it won't fit on the page, we're doing this thing here. So we're actually almost finished this. Let's see, I better remember to show what I'm doing. But anyway, my electric kettle. Now what do I do? That's not the piece. It must be the piece. No, that's not the piece. Oh, the annoying thing about these instructions. Okay, hold up. I feel like that is definitely the piece. So the question here is, there's this piece here, and it doesn't tell you what it is, because it looks like it's just a normal 1x2, but I can't see another one. The only one of that color is this one, and this one has got 2 holes on the other side. But because the instructions are not complicated enough to actually tell you what pieces you're using in a particular action, it doesn't seem to do it. But that one's got printing on it. We'll just go with the fact that that is the only one here that looks like that, and I can't see any other instructions that will tell me that I need to do that. So that's strange. Well, then what's the point of it? Okay, well, anyway, we'll just do this. But yeah, so I had an electric kettle and it stopped working just like that. And generally I'm of the opinion of those kind of appliances that if they just stop working, you should throw them in the bin. Because it's probably some sort of electrical fault or some impossible to repair element faulty thing. Not like the good old days when I remember trying to, my parents, they got, like a kettle would get fixed if the heating element broke, but not today. Just throw them in the bin. And I went and bought another one. So my previous one was plastic, and now it is metal. And it's like, well, does that make the water taste better? No, but it's not a very, like, I kind of realised I probably should have splashed out a bit more and got a nicer kettle, because this doesn't seem to have much weight in the way of insulation between. How does this go together? Alright, between the kettle outside and the inside, and so it's easy to burn yourself on the side. And I'm like, I'm sure my last metal kettle wasn't that bad. Thank goodness I'm an adult and it's fine to burn yourself. Right, it's not fine to burn yourself. And there we go. And there we go. Now, I've got a lot better. I don't think I've recently put my hand on top, touched the side of the kettle after it had just boiled. But if you had like an old style kettle that you put on the stove, then I'm sure that's exactly what would happen if you touched it with your hand as well. So I should just be more sensible. And here we go. I just didn't want to buy another plastic. Like, a plastic one was pretty cheap, but I was like, wow, you know, too much plastic in the world as it is. And I am kind of concerned about plastic leaching into water. Only in the case of when you're heating things up. And it's just like, well, I don't know. I don't understand. So maybe just get a metal one. You can't go wrong. So I built this, and actually you do turn it around. So that is actually, and you're supposed to just put a sticker on this thing. That would be like a pain. Like these are the stickers here. That sticker there is supposed to go on this. And I kind of almost feel like doing it. I actually do, but I'm not going to. Not just yet. So that can go there. Because it just, like, you'd have to move it. There's like something with soapy water or something that you're supposed to do. Some kind of official way of doing this, such that you can move it around until it sets, until it dries, in which case it will stay in the same place, and then you can get things in the right place. But who minds that? So that's done. And now we're on to the very last section, where we're going to build another little castle, which is very similar to the first castle. It does have that little thing where you actually make this in 2 steps instead of just, which I think I've discussed at a previous point, that I'm sure that when these first came out, they came out, but that could just be like, I'm sure it's like one of those things where your memory completely fails. My memory has completely failed me, that these things did not come together when they first came out, and when, you know, originally, that they were always separate and that you always had to put them together, and that's just the way it is, and I'm just pretending otherwise. But anyway, I always feel it's strange. It still feels strange to have to actually make that a step of putting things together. Now we are up to finding this thing. There's a lot of pieces left here, isn't there? An awful lot of pieces. So, and then we've got to get 2 orange. This looks interesting. Must be a fireplace that turns around, just like in the movie. I don't know, as I said, and I did start to watch the remake of this, the new version, but I actually found Emma Watson's voice to be really annoying, and I don't know why, but it was just, in that particular case, it was just like, I'm not in the mood. So I didn't get very far into it. And as I'm sure I've mentioned on this channel, I'm not a big fan of remakes of films in general. So that's like, it is a turning fireplace, because, as you know, I just like just leave it, or, you know, because they're doing the thing that I've always been dreading, which is like Goonies sequels and Gremlins sequels. But I feel that they're sequels, they're not remakes, and so that's okay. Like, it's just that I don't just make a different film. And they did make a film recently, and I've forgotten the name of it, and it's set in Hawaii, and it looks like that's pretty much just Goonies. And I've discussed this on this channel previously. And I thought, well, that was the best way of doing it. Just do that. Just take a film and basically remake it. But don't say it's the same film, and have things that are, you know, different. Then it will be fine. Like, I don't mind watching the film that's the same basic storyline as an earlier film, if it's, you know, looks different and has a different title. That's fine with me. Can't we just do that? So there we go. We've done that, and that's that part. So where's the other one gone? So then we can put them together. Those look kind of funny that they're both with the same front. They look almost identical on the top, don't they? They're the same kind of thing. So anyway, that part's done. So now what's at the front of this? That took a lot longer than it was supposed to. I thought this is going to be super quick. Now we've got to do this part, and then this part, and then this part, and then this part, and then this part, and this part, and this part. So that should be easy. So we'll start off with this thing here. And we are going to put these two together, which is actually the way the instructions say you should do this. You should put them together, not doing this idea where you put it on first and then do it, but in fact doing it this way. So that's done, and then we're going to have to tip these guys out, and that one's going to go there. Right. Okay, it doesn't matter which way around they go. And that one goes into there. So it's a good supply of these gold Technic pieces. You're not going to get those anywhere else, are you? I'm assuming they're all different for every single one of these books. So the only one left at the shop is the Frozen one. I think there's another one, isn't there? There's like 4. There was the Mulan one, there was this one, there's the Frozen one, and oh, there was a Little Mermaid, I think. Is that what it was? I think it was Little Mermaid, and which also I've never ever actually seen at all, and that also has a terrible message for women. But hey, I'm sure it's got cool songs and funny fish. So, I feel like I've done something wrong because it does have an orientation. The Lego logo is down the bottom and pointing up. But they haven't remade that yet. I'm sure they're remaking it. I'm sure they're thinking about it. The Little Mermaid, or Littlest Mermaid. I always say the Littlest, but that doesn't sound like the right word. I'm just thinking of the Bravest Toaster, and there's another one with little. They should really do the Brave Little Toaster. Is that what it's called? The Brave Little Toaster, the Bravest Toaster? I don't know, but that would be quite a fun thing. But I'm definitely looking forward, alright, to working out what I'm doing. Alright, so what I'm doing, I'm looking forward to the Warner Brothers cartoon thingies, so can't wait till that pops out. I'm just going to go buy the whole lot. And I'm having a few problems with the current collectible minifigure series, but we'll talk about that in another video. Yes, things are just getting ridiculous. Alright, now we have to make the latch. And it does come with a little key, the little lock and key thing written on it. So that's nice. I need this piece, and then I need... This is actually harder to do with the piece of paper in front of me the right way up for once. And actually looking at it, I'm actually finding this harder to have the instructions not on the front here. Perhaps because I have to move my head up and down. Right, so that goes on the other bit, and that's going to be the thing that... It's been a while since I've done. That's quite fun, actually. Been a while since I've done the Mulan one, so I've completely forgotten how these things work. So let's build this little bridge. There's a bridge in here, and we need that piece, and some of these small things. There are some really neat little pieces in this one, which we'll have a look at in a minute as we come up to them. And then this bit here goes on there, and then we need, look at this cool piece. Like, didn't I not? Did I just get one of these in the recent? Like, I feel like the last thing I built, something else had one of these. But, or did I? I don't know what I'm imagining. It makes me think of that statue in Brazil of, is it Brazil? In Brazil, the one of Jesus, where he's standing on the hill, which I've never seen, so I don't know anything about, but I always want to go have a look because it just seems like an impressive piece of work. And they're making another one or something, which seems a bit strange. But that's kind of what this thing reminds me of. I don't know why. Maybe because I just saw something about them making another one recently. So anyway, that's being done. And I think this is kind of weird. Because this is because there are two heads for the beast. And which is the beast body? Wait, okay, this is the beast body, but I'm just a bit confused as to what you do. Who's who? Alright, this is the beast. The beast has got blue eyes. Oh, I wasn't thinking of that. And I can only tell this because he doesn't have any eyelashes. But we're going to put his head over here for now. And then, oh, I get this. Oh my gosh, they've solved the mystery. So the mystery that I had when I looked at the front of the box was like, well, obviously you're meant to be able to transition the beast into their normal self at some point, and that's why they're here sitting over there on the side. There he is, he's transformed. But then I was like, well, where does his hair get stored? But this is not actually a giant piece like the cheetah's head. It's like a hat. It's literally a hat. So then we can put the hat over the top, and that's where the head goes. The head was there the whole time. So that's fun. So I think I have made literally everything, but everything else just sort of pops in. So first off, let's get this done. We'll chuck in the bridge. The bridge goes there. Lost the piece already. And then there's two little flowers on the side. So one flower there. This is actually kind of, oh, I've gone and lost the other flower. That was the one thing that fell on the floor, I think. But there should be a spare. I didn't lose, well, there's a purple flower. Maybe they're meant to be different coloured flower. I don't know. They are now. Just like that. They don't look like they're different colours in the thing. I must have just substituted. Who cares? It's fine. And this one goes over in the corner. Off the camera, and then this headpiece goes over here, and this little thing goes in the middle here and spins around, which is nice touch, and that goes there. And then there's a small piece, which is this piece here, which actually has a little rose on it. Look at that. I don't know if you can see that. It never works for this camera because it's just getting out of focus all the time. I was going to just fix the focus. That's something I was supposed to do on this camera, because when I watched the videos, it's like, this is ridiculous. This camera just changes focus too much. I can just fix the focus, and then I just can't move my hand up because it will be a blur. But that is fine. I think we can all live with that. I could always get a camera that has like a really, really cool focus, or it was like a very deep focus, and then this wouldn't be such an issue. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And then the last two things, though I'm a bit concerned because there seems to be pieces there that I don't know where they're supposed to go. They can go here. We haven't actually made Belle, so she has to have her hair and her head at first, and her hair piece, it looks really good, but it's rubbery. So I'm like, oh, it's a bit of a disappointment. But they're always rubbery, and that's fine, because what else is it going to be? And she's going to have a ribbon, apparently, because why not? And so she can go there. And then that is the rest of it. You just kind of have to look at the picture on the front. It doesn't tell you how to finish it off. It just says like that. And then I guess you're meant to just look at the front of the box. So there's all four. So this thing goes in the middle. Like, I think I might have got that the wrong way around. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. And then, okay, that one goes to there. This would look a lot better with the actual stickers, but hey. Like, it feels like there's no actual point to not putting the stickers on. It's not like I'd ever use this thing for anything else other than this. Well, they're going to sit on there, so Beast can go there, and then they can spin around. And then we've got, I don't know where these things are meant to go. I think these are meant to go on here, and I completely missed that step. Alright, that goes there. That goes there. And then I'm a little bit confused as to where this piece was supposed to go. Okay, but we've got the teapot. There's Angela Lansbury. She's sitting there with her teapot. So that's a really cool little thing with a little face. You're never going to get that anywhere else, or except in another Beauty and the Beast set. That's not a character. And we get 2 cups that are chip, which is neat. Like, you get a spare chip and a one, but he doesn't actually have a chip on the thing. I think maybe that's meant to be in the corner, a little chip. So that's fine, which is good because that whole having a chip thing is kind of terrifying. But there you go. I guess maybe that's because they thought, well, you know, the evil witch person was like, well, his name's Chip, so he's going to be a cup with a chip. And this thing was a spare for that. And then this one this thing goes on top of the cupboard. All right, and then they go. We're almost out of time. They go over here and they just sit there. And this thing was supposed to have a gold thing on the top. And I think that is the end of it. It's all done. There's the other flower. So there's the original flower. So it's too late now. I've gone and put the wrong flower on. So I'll put another flower on the side. And we've got the little clock. I've completely forgotten all of their names. So that's quite cute. Like, there are some pretty cool printed pieces. And then we have to do the very last bit. We just have to. How do I get this thing to actually? I think maybe I've done something slightly wrong, haven't I? It looks like it goes up to the edge. Why can't I get... Oh, it's the teapot. The teapot's not meant to go there. So she can sit... Oh, she can sit there, right. That makes sense. And then Chip can sit on this one. And these guys can sit off to the side. And then we can fold... Oh, that's not quite... Oh, these guys are not... You can't have these guys sitting there when you fold it up. Right, we did it. It's folded it up and sealed, and then this thing just has to go on the front. So that's neat, and we're done. And so there's some cool spare pieces. The stickers, those ones are kind of okay. Where'd the other ones go? So there's a lot of stickers for the bottom part. Oh well, what can you do? But that was fun, and so there's the other ones. So neat. Will I lose this one? Hopefully not. I'd like to at least be able to keep one of these because these little box things are quite neat, and I liked it. So one last look. Everyone's falling over. Have a good look at this. Actually, how do I do these? I do like these little micro figures. Like, when are they going to produce these again? Are they going to continue with this theme? Are they going to have? Because I haven't seen any new ones mentioned. Like, I never even saw these mentioned on Brickset or anything before I saw them in the shop, and they're just sort of like this thing that popped up and disappeared. But I do like them. I think they're quite cool. I like the little tiny figures. Something new, something different. Thanks for watching, and like, share, subscribe, comment, whatever, and see you next time. Bye.